This episode is brought to you by That Prize Guy. That Prize Guy is a competition company based in Bangor. Check out their website for some unbelievable prizes at www.thatprizeguy.co.uk. So this is a domestic dust-up. It's North versus South. It's a fight of the night contender on August 6th, and someone's always about to go. So a big welcome to James McGivern and Tony McGlynn. Tony, I'll go to you first. Thanks for coming on. How's your camp been with Pete Taylor at the moment?
Yeah, it's been great, yeah. Have great sparring. Have Sean McComb, Gary Cully, Jazza. Just all the sparring you need, all southpaws. There's more southpaws in our gym than orthodox. It's mad.
I was going to touch on the sparring first of all with you. So having the likes of Gary Cully, Sean McComb in the gym, how does that benefit you going into this fight? And will that give you an edge when you come up against James?
Yeah, it's great. It's great because the two of them have great work ethics. And then they're obviously both southpaws, so their styles will kind of be similar. So yeah, it helps me.
James, mixing it up at an elite level as an amateur, does that give you an advantage over Tony in any way?
Probably, yeah. I've been to the top, well, maybe not the very tip top, but I've been in there with some of the best operators as an amateur level you could have been in with. Like the European Olympic Games was in with your man Batchkov, and then I shared the ring with Omaha, the French guy. So yeah, I've been in mixing it, and then in training camps with the Cubans and all like that. So I've been there and done most of it.
Tony, as an amateur, you kind of were at a lot of a higher weight. So you've moved down to lightweight. So you would have fought the likes of Emmett Brennan as an amateur. How do you think that will?
Just wasn't really disciplined as much as an amateur, you know what I mean? I was trying to work, and then I was playing other sports, doing other stuff. But yeah, no, definitely, like I'd feel strong even up at them weights. So coming down to lightweight would be great, and I should make a handy enough as well. So COVID helped that.
So whenever you're coming up, when you're coming up against the likes of James here, obviously you're coming down a weight. Do you think your power sees you through to the end in this fight?
Yeah, I definitely have power, yeah, but I wouldn't rely on just my power. I've got good boxing ability as well.
So, James, as an elite amateur, you were in the Irish Seniors, you won the Irish Seniors, and then you turned over to be a pro. And a lot of people didn't really understand that because they thought you would have went for the Tokyo Olympics. You were number one in the country at the time. So why was it you didn't go down the Olympic route at that point?
So around that time, for want of a better term, my head was up my hole. Being down in Dublin all wasn't a great environment for me, and then having to move up to 64, I think it was at the time. I was struggling to get up to 64. Nah, fuck, wasn't there a problem now, but at the time, it just things weren't going my way. At home, they weren't going my way. Down in Dublin, the weight and all was a problem. So I threw the head up. But then that was me done with boxing from there. But then I came back, turned over to the pros, met Jamie Conlan, went with MTK and got took care of from there. So back with a bang.
So the difference between you two kind of as pros has been the activity level. So Tony, you turned over as a pro in 2019. You've only had 3 fights since then. So James has had 4 and a year less. How do you think the inactivity plays a part in this? And why have you had so little fights in 4 years?
Yeah, just because I've been just on them small hall shows, and during COVID it was a bit poxy, wasn't it? There was no shows really going. So doing all the doesn't really matter. In activities, just if you're putting the time in the gym, you know what I mean? Get the rounds in the gym. It's all the same.
James, do you think the inactivity on Tony's part plays a part in this? Because you've been under the lights now 4 times. Obviously, he's only been 3. You've done it in less time. Do you think that gives you an advantage going into this fight?
Not really. Fighting's fighting, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure he's had plenty of fights as an amateur. I'm sure he knows how to do it. Like, I only had 1 more fight than him. 2 of mine were behind closed doors. So you could argue that we've probably had an even amount of experience as underneath the lights as pros. So probably not. No, I don't think so.
So if I was asking you, James, who's the A side in this fight? I'm putting a gun to your head right now and you had to pick the A side. Who's the A side in this fight?
Well, we're in Belfast. I go to Carnan, look and see the SSE. So I would say me, probably.
100%.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I'd agree with him, yeah. he's the one that's with ConlanBoxing, but it's a great opportunity for the two of us on a great card. So I can't wait.
So James, you've recently signed with Jason Quigley as your management. How has that helped you in your game?
Well, we all know Jason's been to the top of the pile again. He's fought as an amateur. I don't think there was anything he didn't win, maybe by the Olympics and so on and so forth. But as a pro, been to the top of the pile again, fought some of the best in the world. We met not too long ago, and there was talk of him fighting Canelo at one stage. So do you know what I mean? This guy's got a wealth of knowledge that I can tap into now. He's got plenty of connections that I can now tap into as well. We're actually away tomorrow morning, me and my dad away to Manchester to go over and do a bit of sparring. So that's all pluses to me.
Great. And in terms of, obviously, it is a risky fight for both of you. If we're looking at it, Tony, what do you know about James's game that you can exploit? What's his weakness?
I think that he is more of a counter puncher. He is he's a style of southpaw. I know that, but I don't know if he like pressure.
So you'll bring the pressure. And James, in terms of this fight, obviously, what do you know about Tony's game and what's his weakness that you can exploit on August 6th?
I don't know a whole lot about Tony. Correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but I don't think we met as amateurs or even down in Dublin.
I was always far as an amateur.
So I don't know a whole lot. I don't know if I've ever watched you fight or anything like that. But listen, see all that, carry on there. That's all a pile of crap. See, whenever me and him are standing in the middle of a ring, then we're going to find out what the crack is. There's no point. Everyone talks about watching videos and doing so on and so forth. We don't know what's going to happen until we get in there. In my opinion, anyway.
I agree with you. And obviously, it's a risky fight for both of you. You're both undefeated. You both need to be commended for taking this type of fight so early on in both of your careers. There's obviously bounce back ability nowadays. A loss doesn't mean as much as what it did once before in boxing. But I'll ask you both the same question.
It's better fighting 50-50s, isn't it, than fucking fighting journeyman till you have 10, 15 and all. You don't really get fuck all with it.
There's no point wasting any time, is there?
Nah, fuck that.
100%. You're both right. But if I ask you both the same question, Tony, you first, what does a win on August 6th mean for you and what do you go on from that?
To be honest, if I get a win on August 6th, I think it'd be great for my career. It would give me a lot of opportunities. And I
What
can't
about
wait.
you, James? August 6th, you win. What's next?
August 6th, I win. It's same as Tony. It's a massive win for my career going forward. I win August 6th and then get the ball rolling with my new management and start kicking on to bigger and better things.
Lads, thanks a million for joining me. We can't wait to see you fight week. We'll have another one, maybe sit down around the table that week. But thanks again, and we'll see you close in the ring on August 6th. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Yes, boys, good luck.
Best to see you later.